Hi, this is Noah Sandler from mtgoacademy.com. I'm going to be doing a Legacy Cube draft today. And here we go. So this is kind of a weak pack. I'm a pretty big fan of blue in general in this cube, but I'll draft any color. I feel like black is kind of weak. The vampire theme is really unexciting. Yeah, even if you get the perfect vampire deck, I feel like you're going to be about as good as other archetypes, and so and the cards themselves are kind of weak. So all in all, like I'd probably want to avoid vampires. But here we got a Lotus Cobra, which I like. There's some gold cards. They're powerful, but I tend to wait on them. Council Judgment's pretty strong. Look is alright. So I like Cobra. I'm a pretty big fan of green ramp strategies. I think Council Judgment is also a fine pick. I mean, early on in cube drafts, I feel like you should be taking the multiple card, and generally monocolor cards if you can, and then try to kind of guide yourself into a particular archetype. But a lot of times it'll pretty much come down to preference. Yeah, you can have a couple different archetypes you could go into with your first pick or two, and yeah, whatever you feel like drafting that day is perfectly fine. So here we've got Master of the Wild Hunt, which is just like a strong card. It has some synergy with opposition, but it's just good. Green card. Battlesphere is nice. Pack Rat, have not played with it much in Cube. It's probably quite strong. I'm not sure if it's worth jumping in for right here. Birthing Pod takes a lot of work, and that's about all I'm looking at. Snapcaster Mage is alright. Hellkite's alright. So I think it's between Battlesphere, Master, Pack Rat. And we've got Lotus Cobra. Goes well in ramp strategies. Kind of think I just take Battlesphere here. I feel like Pack Rat could definitely be the pick. It is in another color, and I don't have experience with it in Cube. I don't know exactly how broken it is. It's certainly nuts and limited and constructed, and it's probably very good in Cube, but we'll go with Battlesphere. Keeps us pretty open. And here we got Murderous Cut. Fraley's not a big fan. It's okay, but one of the weaker planeswalkers in the cube. Arbor Elf, which is very nice in ramp. Dig Through Time, which is quite powerful. So I think it's between Arbor Elf and Dig Through Time. Do we want to jump into blue here, or just want to keep up with the ramp? And it's pretty close, but I think I'm just going to take Arbor Elf, stay on green, and we'll see if blue ends up being open. Blue tends to be overdrafted in this cube, and that's because it's the best color. So, I don't really mind fighting for it. But Arbor Elf, like you really want to get these 1-mana elves for green ramp decks. So we're just gonna stay on course for now. It's a Factor Fiction. Wall of Roots, which I'm a big fan of. So kind of the same pick again, where we've got a really powerful blue card and then a good green ramp card. I do like Wall of Roots quite a bit, so this is kind of close. There's also a Maelstrom Pulse. I mean, we're going to be green anyway, so if you could just consider power levels, you could just consider the Pulse is like a black card, the Factor Fiction is a blue card, because I'm pretty much going to be green at this point. But I feel like Factor Fiction is better than Pulse. So do we go for Wall of Roots or do we go for Factor Fiction? I mean, seeing the Dig Through Time, and now we see the Factor Fiction. I feel like blue is open, and if we don't jump in now, it's probably going to be too late. At least for Pack 2, we'll be putting the person into our left into blue. So I'm going to take the Factor Fiction. Here we have a Centering Titan. It's a pretty nice card to ramp into. And Riverboa, yeah, my Elder, I'm kind of a fan. It's just like a lot of card advantage for one creature, and it's nice against some of the aggro decks. They don't really want to attack and trade into it. But yeah, I'll take Centering Titan. It's a pretty good card to ramp into. It does give us our second big ramp card, because you can have ramp decks that mostly ramp up to 6 or 7 mana, and then ramp decks that really go for like 7, 8s, or even more. And when I already have a 7 and an 8, I'm going to be looking to go for like a big ramp deck. So cards that can give me multiple mana like from one card. Lotus Cobra with fetches can do that. Something like Basalt Monolith. Those become more exciting than just something like Fertile Ground or Rampant Growth. We got Gristlebrand, Ashiok, Shriekmaw, Rampaging Baloths, Consuming Vapors. Those are all nice. Think Twice is okay. It's not very good in ramp. So Baloths is a good card to ramp into. Gristlebrand's very strong. I mean, we do have like some great reanimation fatties, but I don't think reanimation is that well supported in this cube. So kind of close pick. I mean, we could be green black. I think Balos could be fine. I'm going to take the Gristlebrand. And there's a Bayou. Elves of Deep Shadow would be good. I'm really surprised to see Splinter Twin here, because like the twin archetype is probably the best in the cube. The idea of it going this late is kind of absurd. I mean, I'm so far off from it. I don't think I want to move in. And Bayou is a pretty strong pick here, so I guess I'll just ship it along. But that's pretty surprising. You'd think someone would take it, just potentially move in. Okay, we got an Overgrowth Tomb, Calling, Overgrown Battlement. I'm not a big fan of Lantern. I think I just take Tomb. The second duel is not as important as the first, because you really want the first so you can fetch for it, and the second is just another like color fixing land, so it's not quite as important. So you could take Battlement, but it's early enough. I mean, I tend to like taking lands over spells, because it's very easy to end up with too many playables in cube, and the land cards are just gonna take up a land slot, rather than taking Battlement, and maybe Battlement's gonna take the place of another good card. And we got Vraska tabling, so definitely going to take that. I wonder if the Maelstrom pulls tables too. And we're passing a Utopia Sprawl, which it's a kind of ramp card which is good, but it tends to get cut. Like, if you have a lot of ramp cards, this is, because it requires a forest, it just tends to be weaker than the others, so I don't really mind passing it up. So we got Bone Shredder, Lightning Greaves, Duress. I think Bone Shredder is the most powerful card. Greaves can be nice with Battlesphere, and just like the fatties you have, but it's not a necessary component. Like, fatty by itself usually is good enough, but it can be pretty good. And then Duress is a nice sideboard card. I might take Greaves here. It does seem pretty good with the cards we have right now. Like, getting Battlesphere, giving it haste, attacking, and then immediately tapping all your tokens for 12 damage potentially is pretty sick, and put it on Gristlebrand is also insane. We'll take a Murderous Cut, another card that's going to reward us for taking fetches in addition to the Lotus Cobra, so I'm going to take fetches pretty highly. Infiltrator is also nice, but I don't know what our... Oh wow, the Maelstrom Pulse came back. Also Mother Rune Search for Tomorrow. This is a... I don't know. This we're getting a lot of good cards in this draft. I wonder if the player quality isn't too high. Alright, Consuming Vapors is really nice. So, yeah, I mean, we're in the right spot. With that Factor Fiction and the Dig Through Time, seeing the Factor Fiction after the Dig Through Time kind of looked like blue was open, but we generally stayed to green, and then it seems like black was really open, and especially black-green. So we can go a lot of directions here. We can do Super Ramp. So, I mean, we've got the Gristlebrand, Centering Titan, and Mirror Battlesphere. So, we want to get those into play somehow. And so you can either ramp, or you can try to discard and reanimate some way. So either of those is good. And then also, we're just getting such quality cards with the Maelstrom Pulse, Vraska, Consuming Vapors. We could just build kind of a, like the Rock, where we just have good removal, discard, some 2-for-1 creatures, and then we could have a finisher like Battlesphere, Gristlebrand, but you don't really have to focus on getting them into play in that situation. Here there's Lingering Souls, best card in the pack, Miscalculation. Song of the Dryads, it's pretty good. It does kill most things. It also gives your opponent a land. I feel like people underestimate that a little bit, the negative of that. I mean, if your opponent's on like 5 lands and they're playing a control deck, and you kill their planeswalker, and now you ramp them into the next planeswalker. And it costs 3 mana, so I'm not a huge fan of it. But I'm gonna take Lingering Souls. It's really powerful. We have a Cobra. Our mana is pretty decent right now, so I think we could find some fixing for it. And also, we might I think they cut a lot of they did cut a lot of the self mill, so I don't know if we're going to. Ooh, Basalt Monolith is good here. Solemn Simulacrum is also quite good, and Tribe Elder. I think this is if we're going to be running the Battlesphere, Titan, Gristlebrand. Now, Basalt Monolith, it's kind of hard. And sorry for not finishing up with Lingering Souls, but we might be doing some self-mill stuff in some sense, so we can get some extra value just dumping the graveyard and flashing it back. But yeah, so Basalt Monolith, it's very good with Battlesphere and Titan. And Gristlebrand, it's kind of hard because you got to get 4 black. The Monolith takes care of the colorless, and they just have 1 other land. So, the fact that it doesn't help you get black mana means it's not that great for ramping out Gristlebrand, but it's probably worth it anyway. What makes this kind of close is that Simulacrum and Tribe Elder both ramp for all 3 of these cards, just not quite as quickly. So you could take one, and Solemn does seem pretty exciting in this kind of value-y, removal rock deck with some ramp. But I'm gonna take Monolith. It's just too powerful, I think. And we'll take Green Sun Zenith here. Green Sun Zenith, I think, is one of the best green cards in the cube. Not very exciting right now. We do have some cheaper things we can get with it, but usually you're going to have some really big green fatties like Woodfall Primus, Craterhoof Behemoth, Avenger of Zendikar, so it's just so flexible. You can get a 1-drop to ramp, you get Cobra, some Reclamation Sage or something. So it's really flexible, but it can also just, for 1 extra mana, get you your fatty that you want to ramp into. But we've already have 3 really good fatties, so we don't actually have room for a big green fatty. And we can get one, and it would just replace one of our other fatties. But it just makes it a little awkward. Taking the Green Sun kind of means that we're probably going to cut one of these cards, and maybe we're going to cut the Gristlebrand. The quad black might just be too hard for this deck to get. Thrawn Dynamo, Elvish Mystic, Garrick, go for the throat. So this is between Dynamo and Mystic, and Dynamo still seems, this adding 3 mana still seems pretty powerful. So I think I take that. At a certain point, you just have too much colorless mana, but we have 2 really good colorless mana sinks, and Green Sun Zenith can also be a really good colorless mana sink. This just costs 1 green in addition to all the colorless. So I think the Dynamo's going to be better here than Mystic, but it's pretty close. Taking the Dynamo does mean that we do want to lean more towards these colorless ramping things, stuff like Karn, and away from stuff like Gristlebrand. Here, Shield Drell is pretty powerful. There's a rampant growth. I think I'll take Shield Dread. It's double black. It's not green. We're passing a Mirran Crusader, which should give us lots of trouble. Though we do have some artifact win conditions, so maybe we can beat it. We could get a lucky Consuming Vapors. I think I'd take Shield Dread. I don't think it's worth hating the Crusader, but I don't think Shield Dread's that insane in this deck. Okay, Tooth and Nail, Abrupt Decay. Not a big fan of Vengevine here. Decay is very solid, and Tooth and Nail we got to think about. We've got Dynamo, Basalt Monolith, and we do have some really nice things to get with it. So we are going kind of like Mega Ramp, and that makes Tooth and Nail pretty good. So I think we take Tooth and Nail. I'm a little worried that we're getting too clunky, and we're probably going to end up cutting some amount of these big green creature. These big creatures, and because right now Tooth and Nail, Green Sun Zenith, and then these 4 fatties, that's 6 really clunky cards, and we still don't have a green fatty to get. So we're gonna add that too. So we're gonna need to cut some of these at some point. And Tooth and Nail is another card that goes in that category. So you could just take Abrupt Decay, keep the deck a little smoother. But Tooth and Nail is like game over if we can resolve it. And sometimes just casting it, if you have one of your other creatures in your hand, and just dropping it for mana cheaper can be good. So Martial Coup is pretty insane. Warhammer I don't think really fits here. Tarmogoyf doesn't fit too well. I might just hate the Coup. I don't really like Mana Confluence. Coup is like one of those unbeatable cards you don't really want to have to face. Ooh, we got Oracle of Moldiah. So Mind Stone. I don't like Mind Stone as much in the green ramp decks. It only ramps 1. Harmonize would also be pretty strong, but Oracle can ramp us pretty fast. It's really nice with Tooth and Nail. And we got the Song of the Dryads back. Could play it main, or just side against deck with Planeswalkers. Probably not going to play the Lingering Souls at this point. We haven't picked up any fixing. I'll be on the lookout, though. We did pick up the Martial Coup. Wow, we got the Solemn back. That's really nice. I like Wicker Bow Elder quite a bit, too. But Solemn's really good here. Gives us another potential fixer if we play up Plains. So we have Cobra, Plains, Solemn, and if we get some, like a Savannah, we could Nature's Lore for it. Dark Imposter. Card seems okay. I don't know, I'm just going to hate the Dictate. We got Garrick, Brushland. How good is Garrick? I feel like it's just a little clunky here. I'm just going to take the Brushland for the Lingering Souls. And we got a Rampant Growth. I think the Garrick abilities, you may put a green creature. We don't have the big green creatures yet. And we don't have... Like, I think our creature count's not going to be that high, so its +1 is not going to hit too often. And it's a 6-drop, so it's another clunky card. And I'd like to have fewer clunky cards if possible. We could potentially run the Martial Coup, so that's something I'll be thinking about here. Lingering Souls, because Coup is pretty insane to ramp into. So if we get something like a Savannah, I could consider going for... I mean, you could also minimize the black quite a bit, so you can run more white sources. But I think that, yeah, we might be able to play that. It's just an insane ramp card. So here we got Sylvan Library, Everflowing Chalice, Finhorn Elves as the options. We don't have fetches yet, but Sylvan's really nice with fetches. Let's give a shuffle effect so we have a Solemn. And then Chalice can be a nice ramp card. I mean, it's similar to Monolith Dynamo. So I feel like that's the pick. Green seems to be pretty underdrafted. I feel like Library or Elves is going to table, where if we take one of them, someone who's like blue-red or something could take the Chalice, and then the one green drafter would take Elves, and we might not get something back. So we'll just take Chalice. Like, it lets you ramp to 4, which can be nice if we ramp into Dynamo, Solemn, Oracle. But also lets us go, big ramp if we draw it later. If we have 6 mana out, we can ramp it for 3 and go for Tooth and Nail. So here, there is a Savannah, which would make the white splash a lot better. There's a Liliana, which is just a really powerful card. I mean, we're kind of minimizing our black right now, I think. Like, just kind of a splash, so... Like, we could make the Liliana work, but I don't know how great it'll be. And then Reclamation Sage is also pretty nice. Something we can play, trade off early, we can search with Green Sun Zenith. And there's Genesis Wave, but like we have so much clunky stuff, I don't think we really want that. I think the Savannah could table, because people don't seem to be very green. It's one of the less exciting dual lands. And also, I don't think we need to play the Martial Coup. Like, if it falls into our lap, I'd be pretty happy about it, but I think I'd rather just take the Sage here. And we'll see if the Savannah tables. Would be a nice card to pick up, though. Alright, we'll take Garrick here. It's a really nice ramp card. Ancient Tomb is nice, just not quite as powerful as Garrick. Though I do like taking cards that replace lands. And Fauna Shaman also good. I think we have a Vengevine. It can be really nice with a Vengevine if you have a bunch of cheap elves. Because you can search for the Vengevine, discard Vengevine to go get another creature, and then play 2 creatures, get the Vengevine into play. And if we had some kind of reanimation, it would also be good to try to get Gristlebrand back. But I don't think they're really pushing reanimation with this version of the cube. I think there's like Necromancy and Burial Rites, Animate Dead, maybe a few others randomly. But we'll take the Garruk here. And there's a Temple Garden. There's a big Garruk, Troll Ascetic, Painseer. These aren't cards I'm really interested in ramp. There's an Upheaval, but we can't really get blue mana. It's a good ramp card. So Garruk, just like really solid. I mean, good mid-range ramp card. So if we're not going all the way up to 7+, it's pretty nice. It's kind of hard to cast, I guess. I don't think green mana should be that tough for us. But we could also take Temple Garden, so we have Brushland Garden. The Arbor Elf could untap it. Nature's Lore could search it up. We could play Lingering Souls in the Savannah Might table, and we can play Martial Coup, I think. Well, let's take Garden. I think we'll get enough playables. There's an Entomb, but there's just no reanimation cards. Winter Orb. That's interesting. Like, we have ways to kind of combo with it to get around it. I don't think we want Masker Worms. It's too much black. Board in the first tree. I don't know. Not a big fan of it here. I mean, we don't really care to attack with a 3/3 on turn 2. And to make it really good, it does require a lot of mana. And we already have a pretty big top end. So I guess Entomb can get Lingering Souls, which is not bad, but we have nothing else to combo with it. So I think I'm going to take the Winter Orb. There might be some matchups where it's nice. I mean, it's cool with Garruk. Some of the artifact mana, like Thrawn Dynamo. Okay, here there's a Toxic Deluge, which seems really good. We have a couple mana creatures, not that many. Most of our mana is artifact mana. So being able to Wrath is really powerful. So I think that's more important than Scrubland, Waste, and Chameleon Colossus, which are all pretty awesome. Banishing Light is good too. But giving her a deck of Wrath, I think, is really powerful. I guess the second one in addition to the Coup. So yeah, I'm going to take that, but Scrubland or Waste would also be pretty good. Okay. Ooh. I saw that Verdant Catacombs. I was really excited because it gets Garden, Overgrown Tomb, or it gets Garden, Bayou, and we have the Lotus Cobra and we have Murderous Cut, so it seems awesome. There's a Thragtusk. Thragtusk is great. It's just so good against aggressive decks. Just really hard to pass that. I do really want the Catacombs, and we can also Green Sun Zenith for the Thragtusk. Excuse me. I mean, I guess you can look at how many playables you have, but Thragtusk is really nice. Catacombs would be sweet too. We're taking the Thragtusk. Here, ultimate price, O-Ring. I think we can probably make the O-Ring work. Gets rid of more permanent types than ultimate price. Trishan, Thalia. Could hate a Bonfire. I guess we don't care about Bonfire too much. Could hate Recruiter. We pass that Splinter Twin. Yeah, guess so. And the Savannah came back, nice. Really want that fetch though. Ooh, Crux of Fate. Ratchet Bomb is pretty good too. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna give ourselves a mana base that can reliably cast Crux, but I think it's still worth it. Some matchups it could be really important. Just get as many Wrath effects as possible. We're not gonna play the Sculler. And a Valakut. I don't know why they have Valakut Scape Shift in this cube. Maybe someone's pulled it off, but it's just such a narrow combo. And the arguments that Valakut is just like a fine card anyway, I don't buy. I'm not sure what red deck is wanting to get up to, what is it, like 7 mana or something? If you have 5 other mountains, so you got to be on land 7, and you have to have 6 total mountains. Like, what deck is doing that? Like, just a mono red control deck? And like, even if you get Scape Shift Valakut, like, you have to put so many mountains in your deck. Like, it just seems terrible. So some of the cube choices really surprised me. Some of them are good, but overall, I'm not actually a huge fan of this last iteration of the cube. I really liked mono black aggro, and I feel like they kind of tore that deck up a little bit and replaced it with vampires. And I like Reanimator. I feel like they should put more Reanimator enablers, and get rid of Splinter Twin. I feel like Splinter Twin is not only is it just extremely powerful, not that fun to play against, but it showcases like a flaw in Magic Online that you can't run infinite loops. So, you know, you just sit there like click, 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 and hope that your opponent decides to concede. So you don't just sit there for 5 minutes. So I don't know. It just seems like a weird combo to kind of highlight in the cube, to just highlight one of the flaws with Magic Online. So I feel like it should be out of it. I prefer Power Cube anyway. Alright, so we've got 5 lands, so we're at 29 spells. And I think one of the things we're going to decide is whether we want to lean a little more towards white or black. If we want to be playing some of the double black spells, it seems pretty clear we're not going to be able to cast Gristlebrand. Maybe we could make the deck where it's possible to, but not something that we'd rely on. But I feel like we have enough late game power, we can probably just cut the Gristlebrand and just Shield Red, Battlesphere, Titan. I guess Thragtusk could maybe be enough. But Gristlebrand is really powerful, so we'll see. We didn't get any fetches, so I mean, we just got the 2 green-black lands. We have a lot of fixing for white, so I think it's pretty easy for us to run the Martial Coup. And probably cut Crux. We'll want the Shield Dread. By the time we get to 7 mana, I mean, we should be able to get double black. Could play Song of the Dryads. I think we'll start with the Winter Orb out, but we might side it in. So now we're at 26 spells. And we've got a lot of mana sources, so we'll maybe just play 15 or 16 lands. We do want the Lightning Greaves. I think it's worth it. It does take up a spell slot in the deck, but I mean, using it on Battlesphere or Shield Dread or Titan could be necessary to win. But we still got to make some cuts, so maybe we'll just cut Greaves. Then what else? Like all this. I like Consuming Vapors quite a bit. I think I want to keep it. Green Sun Zenith gets Thragtusk, Oracle, Rex Sage, and a cheap drop, so we don't have that big threat to get with it, which is a little annoying. But it's still good. Just 1 more mana to get some of these creatures is pretty nice. We could cut one of the 2 mana ramp cards. So that would be Rampant Growth. So Nature's Lore is pretty much strictly superior. So now we're at 24. And I think we can just run this. Okay, so I'll submit, and I'll see you for round 1. Hey, I'm back. I just realized that I didn't show the mana base, but I ended up doing 2 plains, 4 swamps, 5 forests, giving us 10 sources of green on turn 1, and I think 6 black and 5 white. Plus there's different ways for us to search and stuff like Lotus Cobra, so we have a lot more sources than that. So this is a pretty good hand. Turn 2 Lotus Cobra is nice. Would be cool if we had some fetches. I mean, if we draw 1 land, we can go Garrick, and that's our first land. So this hand is now looking pretty insane. So go turn 3 Garrick, and Tooth and oh, ugh, that's a beating. So yes, now we're way behind. We went from just about to crush to now in a lot of trouble. But we still have Martial Coup. Ooh, geez, Cradle. Alright, we can do this. So, I mean, the Vraska can maybe take out the Garrick, though. Opponent might just sacrifice, get a huge creature, and cause some problems for us. So, we can Garrick, we can Dynamo. Let's get the Brushland out. If we get a Plains, we can Coup. Might go Garrick, just make a Beast. Dynamo doesn't quite give us Tooth and Nail yet. It'd be cool to ultimate Garrick after a Martial Coup. Ooh, and now opponent has blue mana. Things are just getting worse. And they're tapping out for a massive fatty here. Oh, Karn. Well, we can kill Karn, so Karn's not the worst. We can Vraska it. What does this even do? The creature you control gain trample, X number of creature cards in your graveyard. That's a really terrible ultimate. This is kind of interesting. I think we attack. Yeah, because their opponent has Cradle. They can sack for Garrick. I think there is some advantage in just forcing our opponent to trade off a creature and get 1 less mana from Cradle. And it doesn't change how well they can attack our Vraska. So opponent's searching for a creature. They could have Cradled first, but maybe they're going to go Hermit, Cradle after for something. Who knows? Okay, Rampaging Baloths, but they can't cast it. They forgot to tap their Cradle. We go for Maloku. That's pretty strong too, but we got a lot of colorless mana. We can kick a Tooth and Nail. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna be good enough. We could get Shield Red, Sundering Titan, and we have Mirror Battlesphere. Like, the targets for Tooth and Nail are not super exciting in this deck. I wonder if maybe we should go for, like, try to get the Gristlebrand in. Alright, so we can go Dynamo into Chalice for 2. Is that better than just Basalt Monolith? So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. And then we'll have the Monolith tapped. Or we could go Chalice, so we'd have 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. And not have a tap Monolith. I'm just going to go for Monolith. Part of the reason is that we could go for a bigger Chalice in the future and then use that to Martial Coup for a ton. Where if we go for Chalice for 2, it's just always going to stay at 2. Okay, I mean, opponent can do some cool stuff here. Call the Herd. Did opponent attack Vraska? No. So we can kill Garruk. Sure hope they're not a counter. It's unlikely for a ramp deck to have like a 1 blue counter or maybe a remand. So Vraska, I think we just eat Garruk. And I mean, we go for Tooth and Nail, but Martial Coup might be our eventual win plan. I guess if we go for Sundering Titan, opponent can return the island, so we kill a forest and we lose a swamp. That's not that great. It is a 7/10, but opponent has a Death Toucher. We can go for a Shield Red, which seems pretty nice, and then Battle Sphere, and then I guess... Yeah, okay, that seems correct. I think we want to kill the Garruk. Could kill Maloku. Twine Tooth and Nail. So yeah, I think we get Battle Sphere, Shield Red. So if the Battle Sphere dies, then Shield Red can get it back. So that's what's exciting about this combo. Then opponent has to sacrifice a creature, which isn't too tough since they've got some tokens and they can Maloku stuff, but it's still a little annoying for them. And we also have the Consuming Vapors, so I mean, maybe we can start setting them back on lands in play. It holds off their Cradle a little bit, makes their Rampaging Baloth like not quite as good, though I feel like they can probably go Baloth. Well, they played a land first, but I was thinking like Baloth, play a land, get the 4/4, and just every turn they'd make a 4/4 plus a 1/1. They could sack the 1/1 to Shield Red. They have Garruk. Garruk's not that good here. I just concede. Okay. Yeah, I feel like going for Baloth, play a land, get a 6/6 and a 4/4, and then they could go like next turn Garruk minus it, draw 6 cards. But Garruk's just gonna die to our Battle Sphere, Alright, so opponent's green-blue with some token makers, Garrick, Moloku, another Garrick. They might have opposition, which would be pretty scary. They have a Karn, a little bit of ramp, some big creatures. So do we want Song of Dryads? Can stop at Garrick. Can stop Moloku. Ramps him a land. It's a little annoying, but I think overall it's pretty good. We're not great against planeswalkers, so I don't think we want that. And then I kind of want to get a little more top end back in the deck. I was thinking maybe Gristlebrand. We don't have too many ways to cast it, but we do have some. It's nice to grab off Tooth and Nail. And if it does get stuck in our hand, like, there are ways to cast it. I could maybe try to get a little more black mana to make it easier. But like, if we have two black lands, Garrick casts it. The Arbor Elf on a Bayou or Tomb gives us an extra black. Lotus Cobra can get us black. Solemn Searches for a swamp. Like, it can just about happen. We're at 40 cards right now. The Deluge is nice. The Crux could be good against a lot of tokens. I guess Consuming Vapors can probably go. It's still pretty good. Even just killing 2 tokens, getting some life. Some of the tokens are 2/2s and 3/3s, so I wouldn't mind that. So it could just be better than a Wrath. Could also maybe cut a land, but I don't know about cutting a land for Gristlebrand. I think I want to get the Song in. So maybe I cut land for Song. I'll cut a Plains. Like, I think 15 lands is fine with all the ramp that we have. Okay, gotta ship this. That's keepable. Has turn 3 O-Ring with the Swamp Vapors. Oh boy, we are very dead. I guess we can kill that next turn. That's rough. We're not going to use the mana this turn, so we'll just get Tomb, leave it tapped. We can O-Ring that or cut it. We could Deluge, that's best. Opponent does have mana up, they might have a counter. Like a Remand would be really sick here. Let's Deluge. Okay. Pay X life. 1, 2. Oh, as an additional cost, so they can still counter, my bad. Alright, Dissolve. I was excited, I was like, oh, they're letting it resolve. That's not how it works. Okay, it's gonna be a tough one. Alright, we want to cut. What's in our yard? Yeah, we can remove both of these. Nothing else in our deck cares about it. This plays around like Condescend for 1. 4 spike. Daze. Okay, and opponent has a Garrick. We can O-ring that, but we're falling pretty far behind. Opponent didn't attack with Pilgrim. I feel like that was just like a misclick. So yeah, we got a O-ring. I'd like to get Vapors going, but I mean the Garrick just makes another 3/3 immediately. I mean this is, oh geez, gets the Garrick back. All right, ship it in. This is what it's like when your opponent draws like 4 cards in the first couple turns. So they have quite a few Planeswalkers with that Fraley's also. And killing artifacts and enchantments can be pretty powerful against us. Yeah, and they have Karn, 2 Garricks, Fraley's that we've seen. So we do want the Song of the Dryads, though the Fraley's can kill that in the O-ring. Haven't seen much for Sage. Saw Mind Stone. Play Crux. Like, Wrath effects are kind of good, but yeah, they're not the best against Planeswalkers. Like, the token-making Planeswalkers, on one hand, you want to be able to reset the board, but if you reset and then your opponent makes a token and casts something else right after, then it's not that good. Alright, we'll run this play first. That's a keep. It's probable turn 5 Battlesphere. If we draw some ramp, we could do turn 4. Okay, that's the Wall of Roots we passed. Solemn. Very slow for this hand. Garrick. Vraska. Yeah, Fraley's would be a huge blowout. Could Vapors. Kind of just trades for 2 Garrick tokens and doesn't really get us anywhere. Let's just go for Dynamo. If no Fraley's, maybe we can go for Battlesphere. That could be good. Master. So, I mean, that can use the wolves that are already out there. We don't draw land. I can use these wolves. So, tap on tap, deals damage, power to target creature. Creature deals damage equals power. And remove those wolves. So that can just eat the Battlesphere. We could Vraska and kill Master. We're going to take a nice chunk of damage. Opponent makes another token, and then we Battlesphere. If we go for Battlesphere now, they just kill Battlesphere. I do get to have some tokens in play. Let's see, like, he taps Master, taps all the wolves. So it'll be the Garrick Wolf plus the Master. So he'll have Mystic, Wall Roots up, and then can maybe cast something. We're going to have 4 tokens in play. So if we could maybe kill the Garrick right after, and then Vraska the Master, maybe that'd be okay. But I don't think we're likely to be able to kill the Garrick. So I think we just Vraska. Kill the Master, take a decent chunk. Looks like opponent has a counter. We got a Tooth and Nail. That's really nice. I like going for Battlesphere here, and then next turn, well, it almost kills us though, because we can Tooth and Nail for 7 and just drop 2 things from our hand. We already have all of them anyway. I mean, I feel like my opponent has Dissolve, but if we go for Battlesphere and then we Tooth and Nail, Shield Dread, and Sunring Titan, we might just die, because we take 7, opponent makes a 2/2. Maybe cast something else. We get 2 guys into play. Opponent has 5 plus whatever they play against our 2 blockers. They do have to sacrifice 1, but they'll just sacrifice the Wall Roots. So I think we're better off if we, like, it sucks. And I mean, I got to take a second here though, because we have to decide, like, can we win if the Tooth and Nail gets countered and we just play Battlesphere and we're sitting Battlesphere versus 4 Wolves and a Mystic? Because we'd much rather resolve the Tooth and Nail, especially for Shield Dread, and then get the Battlesphere back next turn. It's possible opponent doesn't have a counter, but with the way they've played things, they just played their second blue and passed. Like, they haven't been playing lands. They've got 3 cards in hand and access to 6 mana, and they just pass. Like, it really seems like they have that Dissolve. So I feel like it's like a high percentage chance that they have the Dissolve, like maybe 85%. And but we just have to decide, like, can we win if they counter Tooth and Nail? We put Battlesphere. They'll have 4 Wolves. Like, they'll still have the Garrick. I think we can win. Like, if we draw another land, we can drop Shield Dread. I feel like we can win that. So I think we're gonna just cast Tooth and Nail. Probably gets countered, and then next turn Battlesphere should keep us alive. And the wait. Nope. Didn't play anything. I think it's Battlesphere, Shield Dread. Centering Titan kills our Swamp and Plains. So what do they have? Vendilion Click. They could have clicked in response to Tooth and Nail, you'd think. And, taking one of our fatties. They take the Sundering Titan, okay. I think the Consuming Vapors might be better. If our opponent's going to be racing us with the click, then Vapors can gain us some life, and that combined with the Shield Dread can put some pressure on our opponent's board. Moloku. And Moloku's kind of tough. That gives so many potential tokens. We're only at 11. Yeah, no creatures in graveyard right now. We just draw Chalice. there'd be a reason to attack with Shield Dread. We get to kill the Garrick here. We get to attack with Battle Sphere. Opponent might just chump. I guess maybe we need to keep some creatures back, like Shield Dread's one of them. So yeah, we'll leave it back. Maybe I'll leave an extra mirror back. We'll just pump Battle. I guess opponent conceded. I don't know. They didn't really seem like they wanted to play Magic in a way. Well, I guess we'll take it. I mean, I think we had a good shot at winning the game. This was going to be a really close game, and it was going to be pretty exciting. So it's unfortunate that they just ended it prematurely. Like, yeah, I wanted to see how this was going to turn out, and I mean, opponent definitely had a shot. I don't even know if we were favored or not. I mean, they attack for, like, I go Vapors, like I kill a Garrick, they take some damage, they sack a 2/2 to Vapors, so I go to 13, they attack me down to 8, they can make a bunch of tokens, sack 1, like, it would be really close, and it kind of seems like they would win. But anyway, so that's round 1. Be back for round 2. Hey, starting round 2. Got a nice hand. Go turn 2, Nature's Lore for Overgrown Tomb, leave it tapped. And then we've got the double white for coup already. Then we could maybe go turn 3 Chalice for 2. Then Green Sun for Thragtusk. We got O-Ring to deal with stuff, and then eventually Martial Coup. I mean, we could go for just the earliest coup possible, or we could just wait, let our opponent put as much stuff on the board as possible, then go for a coup. If you like ramp one out early, just getting 5 tokens in play after the coup probably isn't enough to finish the game if your opponent's at 20. Like, if they just play a creature, I O-ring it, they go to 15, they play another creature, I attack, they kill 1, they go to 11, do it again, I'm not going to finish them off. Uh-oh. Okay. I was afraid it was discard, but it's just this guy. It's not very good. Should be able to beat a Vampire draw with this deck. Put a mold to 6 also. Opponent put the card on top. Garrick's pretty nice. So go for tap tomb. Hopefully we draw a land. Can go Garrick, maybe make a beast, or untap Chalice for 1. Don't see red, black, white that often. Nighthawk. Green Sun just gets a Mana Elf or a Lotus Cobra. So we could Chalice for 1 and then Green Sun for 1. Gives us the most ramp. And then go from there. We could also just use Pulse or Ring on the Nighthawk. Slow our opponent down a little bit. So I'll go to collection, I'll just check my deck to make sure. Cobra. So Chalice, Zenith, we'd have 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Opponent might kill our elf. Then we might draw land. Play Garrick, and then a removal spell. So that could be pretty good. Maintaining our life total is pretty nice too. It makes the vampire a lot weaker. So we just went for a pulse on Nighthawk. Opponent just has 3 cards in hand. And I guess like if we wait on the Green Sun, maybe we could Green Sun for 5 and get Thragtusk compared to just getting an elf. So I'm gonna go with Pulse. I guess the question is, do we go Pulse or O-Ring? And it is kind of interesting. I mean, Pulse puts a creature in the graveyard. They could maybe reanimate it somehow. Pulse can take care of tokens. And then, you know, O-Ring you can get back, but opponent red, black, white, they might have a Vindicate, but probably can't deal with an O-Ring. So I guess I'm going to go for O-Ring. If opponent's vampires, they actually might have vampire tokens. You might get a little extra value out of Pulse. And a Confluence pass. So, alright, let's go for making some mana. Okay, Elf takes a Bolt, but opponent has 2 cards in hand with just a 1/1 in play. We're at 17. Our hand is really good. So we're gonna Garrick here. I think we make a Beast. Opponent likely has a removal spell, but the attack still just puts Garrick to 1. And if opponent burns it, we at least get a 3/3. So yeah, I mean, I don't like using Consuming Vapors here. It's only going to take a 1/1 out and make our opponent not play something for a turn. Double white, could be Sun Titan. What? I don't know if I missed something there. Oh, maybe it was just the Confluence they used for white. Okay, we can go for Martial Coup. Using Garrick. Seems pretty obvious. But it actually doesn't have that many. I guess I have Mountain and Swamp. We don't have to tap the brush land because we're just going to untap. Hold on. Get a free attack here. Zero reason not to attack. Chance of success, pretty low. Pretty low that they just take it. Overall chance of winning, maybe a little better than if we don't make the play. So it's a easy decision. So that's a pretty massive swing. That's why I like Martial Coup. I mean, green-white ramp usually not a great archetype, but that's just like the sickest ramp card. So, you know, us just having great mana, being able to pretty much splash it, it's a really nice advantage. We took some good duels early. And I did take Temple Guard and Brushland over some decent cards that I might be playing. But yeah, it seems worth it. Kills the Garrick. So no overrun soldier tokens this time. So we'll play land, Cobra, and then next turn if we draw a land, we get the extra from the Cobra so we can cast Titan. I mean, on one hand, we don't want to commit too much to the board, but being able to kill 2 of their lands, if it dies, we kill another. I mean, I guess we lose our garden and a forest through that, but still seems pretty good. We didn't get the lands, so let's just attack with everything. Hopefully they're just dead next turn. So Lightning Bolt, Banefire, Vampire, Grave Titan, and then just a bunch of mana fixing. So I mean, right now I don't know how creature based they are, because our deck can definitely transform into being very anti-aggro, putting in an extra Wrath effect, or more anti-control, something like Winter Orb, Song of the Dryads. I think Lightning Greaves is probably going to be good here. They're playing 3 really removal heavy colors, so being able to protect one of our big creatures could be important. And then do we want Song? It is kind of nice that it gives them a forest, so they get colorless mana in a deck that's probably pretty hungry for colored mana. So it may not be as bad in this matchup. And yeah, stop being a Grave Titan is decent, so it could be good. Or a Winter Orb. It's good against Banefire, but I don't know. I don't know that we need Winter Orb. Sage could be good. We're at 41 right now. I like having the Deluge. It's just very flexible, so if your opponent is doing a creature rush strategy, it's good. And if they just play one fatty, it's still decent. I think Cut's okay. Vapors should be pretty good. So we want to put Greaves in. We gotta cut something. No, Shield Red's nice. Swamp Walk. I'll just cut the Greaves. Or we could cut a land. I mean, I'm running 16. I feel like 15 is probably okay. So, cut land for Greaves. Okay, sounds pretty good. Thragtusk is nice against red, white, black. It's nice against pretty much everything other than a control magic. Ooh, souls. I mean, we did play Martial Coup, and we had Garrick that made tokens, but opponent might side out some of their mass removal. Rakish Air. I've not seen that card in Cube yet. So, I mean, they are legitimately vampires. I don't think I want to O-ring that. The card's just so weak. So let's get the white mana from Cobra, play Lingering Souls. guess I don't want to trade off the Cobra yet, so I can cast Thragtusk next turn, so I guess I just pass and double block with the Spirit tokens. Trade half those souls for the air. Could also trade the Cobra off, flashback souls, get in for 2, and then Thragtusk the next turn. Sorin, so makes 1/1 vampires, or you get an emblem. We can O-ring it or attack it in the air. Can also Vraska it. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, Thragtusk is good, but it's not. I don't think it's that important to cast it this turn. Basically, just threatens the 5 attacking creature. But we should probably just kill Sorin. We could also go O-ring and flashback souls. It's a little more aggressive, but I do like with playing Vraska, then just next turn it's in play, we can start pumping it, we can cast Thragtusk. So I think I'd rather have that than just having a couple extra flyers in play. And I think we just pass. Like, getting our opponent from 20 to 18, I just think changes so little in the grand scheme of things. If our opponent is able to start pumping up their vampires, I think that has more of an impact on the board than us just getting some damage in. I don't love trading off like a flyer for a vampire token. I don't hate trading off my Lotus Cobra right now, but we still have 7 and 8 mana cost stuff. We haven't really drawn any ramp this game, so having Cobra around is still nice. If opponent attacks with both, that's kind of annoying. I'd probably put both spirits on the air, let the vampire become a 2/2, and then with the air dead, it's just going to be a 2/2, and it's not that scary. Just the vampire, and it's just, they're attacking me. Oh, well, they have the air, so yeah, I'll put a token on it. Okay, that's something we can ramp into. Even just for 7 to get our 2 best threats is pretty strong. So let's bump up the Vraska. Cast Thragtusk. Attack for 1. Attacking with Cobra is okay, but I think the Rakish Air is it Rakish? I think it's kind of outlived its usefulness. If opponent plays a flyer, vampire, we have O-ring for it, or Vraska. So Sorin, Grave Titan. Okay, Dynamo's pretty cool. So next turn we can entwine the Tooth and Nail. This turn we want to O-ring the Titan and pump up Vraska. It's good for white. I'm going to tap like this just so we can leave up some colored mana afterwards. It is annoying if they kill your ring and get the Titan back, get more tokens. So I guess I just pass. We can attack for Spirit. Oh, actually we have Lingering Souls. Let's just attack for 1 and then flashback Souls. Almost missed that. So we want to be far ahead on board. Opponent might have Wrath effects. Again, I said I feel like they might side them out if they had some in the first place. And they're playing like a vampire deck with Rakish Air, so like they want to flood the board with multiple creatures that have synergy together. So casting Wrath like really hurts that. So I feel like they're unlikely to have Wrath effects. And then after game 1, I mean, we had Martial Coup, but I don't know that people would want a Wrath effect against Martial Coup really. Like it doesn't really beat Coup, it just kind of cleans up a little bit. So yeah, I'm not super scared to overcommit, but if we did go Tooth and Nail, get 2 giant things, and the opponent plays a Wrath effect, we're left with just a Thragtusk and the Vraska. I mean, that would be a little bit annoying. That said, if we get Centering Titan, we get to kill 3 lands immediately, so opponent's pretty much out of the game. So I think we'll be fine. So opponent is attacking us. These are just zombies. They have lifelink. We have 3, 5, 6, 9. So we can definitely cast the Tooth and Nail. So I think we can put the Cobra in front of 1 and probably just take the other. I don't really care about the zombie. Like you could also just take this the full hit here. I think that'd be fine. I guess if we're getting a Shield Dread, letting the Thragtusk die isn't that terrible. Captivating Vampire. Yeah, whatever. Pulse is nice. Okay. Vraska could kill something. So we're gonna Tooth and Nail, we'll lose a forest, we kill 3 lands with the Titan, and then we'll get Shield Dread. It's unblockable, makes him sack a permanent next turn. So for this turn, we'll probably at least attack with Thragtusk and some amount of flyers. And we are going to go for Tooth and Nail, so we're not going to pulse, but we could use Vraska to kill something. We could throw Thragtusk at the Sorin. We attack all at Sorin. I don't want our Vraska to die to something random. I mean, the Tooth and Nail is just going to be game if we resolve it and our opponent doesn't have an answer. I don't think there's anything for 4 mana that would like kill Vraska and kill our creatures, so it's probably safe. I guess we should attack first, probably all at the Sorin, or maybe I'll leave a Spirit token back just cause. Opponent probably wants to put the air in front of the Thragtusk. I guess leaving Thragtusk in play does help a little bit if opponent does have a Wrath effect. So maybe we just like attack with 1 Spirit, so we leave 2 back, Thragtusk, Titan, and Shield Dread against their blockers. Again, the damage doesn't really matter. So we'll just send 1. So this is just Wrath protection. Again, I don't think our opponent has Wrath, but how do we lose if they don't have Wrath is the real question. So let's entwine this. Good. Sundering Titan, Shield Dread. Battlesphere is also okay. Okay, so that's the match. I think a key thing to think about for this match is, or at least this game, is like when you've got a really over the top win condition, something like Tooth and Nail, Martial Coup, where like you have certain cards, if the game goes long enough, that you're pretty much just gonna win, your opponent can't deal with, then it's not that important. Like normally it's important to just be attacking with your creatures for every point of damage you can get in if possible. Especially in aggro decks, it's really important that if like you don't want to miss points of damage here and there. It could cost you the game. But if your goal, if your plan is to win with one card that is just going to win the game from just about any situation, so your opponent could be at 25 life and you're still going to win, then it's a lot more important to just make sure that your plan doesn't fall apart. So, you know, while I could maybe get an extra couple damage here and there with spirit tokens, getting my opponent down to 15 is very unlikely going to change the results of the game. But if my opponent plays like 2 removal spells and then attacks everything and kills my planeswalker, that might actually change the game. So I would rather give up points of damage and just guarantee that my planeswalker is safe, that my life total is safe, and then I just get to play the Martial Coup or the Tooth and Nail. And so that's what I did this game. And, you know, we pretty much crushed this opponent. But we did it while still just playing around something random that they could have to maybe come back into the game. And that's how you want to play these matches. So that's it for this round, and I'll see you in the finals. Hi, we're back. And we've got a pretty interesting mulligan decision. So this finals, opponent kept their 7 on the play, and we're on the draw. And we've got 2 swamps, some good 4-drops, no green mana, and a Maelstrom Pulse. And then we also have Dynamo, Oracle into Titan potentially, if things go well. So we're on the draw, and if we draw, like we really want 2 lands to make this hand work. We've got 10 green sources that you come to play untapped. And so we've got 33 cards left in the deck, so it's something like a third every draw to draw one. And I feel like we have 3 draws to get a forest, and I feel like we're going to be in a good position. And I also feel like if we go to the 4th draw and we still don't have a play, in the 5th draw we get the forest, or like if we draw a swamp and then we draw another swamp and we consuming vapors, that could bring us right back into the game. So I do feel like this is actually a keep. Mulligan's okay. I think our deck's pretty strong. It mulligans like reasonably well, though as kind of a combo deck, you need the ramp pieces, the lands, and the things to ramp into. Like every card you miss makes it a lot harder to kind of combo off. So anyway, I feel like it's close, but because we have Vapors, and with one of our 10 force, we can get a Maelstrom Pulse on something. And then if we do draw well, we do have Dynamo into Titans, so we can actually combo off relatively easily if we draw a few lands. So yeah, so I like keeping it, but it's a close call. I feel like either decision is fine. And opponent has an island. So blue's very good. Gataxian Probe, no! They see that we made this terrible keep, and now they get to laugh at us. Interesting they paid the 2 life. I guess they might have something else to cast in this turn. They're about to combo off. Maybe they're the Splinter Twin deck, and that makes me glad that I hated that Imperial Recruiter. But they would have like the Dig Through Time, Splinter Twin. Okay, they're playing Serum Visions, so they get to see our hand before deciding what to scry. So yeah, good start for opponent against our hand. Like they know how stunted we are, and if they're playing counters, you know, they know that once we get up to 4 mana, things are going to be pretty sick. They can just leave up counters. So we got our forest. Like, it's fortunate. So Plateau, I mean, could definitely be a twin. Seeker is kind of interesting. Oh, Chalice. Do we want to show our opponent the forest yet? I don't think there's any reason to. Just makes them a little more tilted when we show it to them next turn. Coalition Relic. So we've got some options. Nature's Lore. So we could lore and Maelstrom Pulse this turn. Kill the Relic. That's kind of exciting. I mean, Relic could ramp them up to 6 next turn. And then the other plays are just go for Dynamo, but you know, they know our hand. I don't like the idea of them just being able to hold up a counter or something against our Titan. We go for Oracle, but they might be able to kill it. And yeah, so search for Savannah. And then pulse the Relic. Using the pulse on the Relic, they know we have Consuming Vapors, but you'd hope we could maybe get 2 things with Consuming Vapors. It's possible that won't happen. Okay, Shield Dread. We can go for Dynamo into Oracle. That's pretty clear play. Oh, F6. Nice. Well, showing Martial Coup, not the most exciting thing in the world, but that's what's going on. Okay, we'll just take the Seeker hit. Opponent passes. Like to see some lands on top. There's one. Got an O-Ring now. I mean, yeah, we could just get like Splinter Twin out. So, what can we do? More likely, opponent has a counter up this turn. No, they F6 last time. Didn't really seem like they had a counter. Maybe it's Cryptic Command, but opponent sends me a message. Well, that draw worked out. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Actually, Centering Titan's pretty insane. We get to kill 3 lands. So let's just go for that, and that's the meaty play here. Oh, if it's countered, Shield Dread can get it back. So yeah, seems good. Boom, 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 and boom. Get him with the Oracle. So yeah, this is looking really great. Against a random opponent in the situation we're in, like even drawing the lands, we're still going to be in trouble a lot of time against like a red, white, blue control deck. But opponent just never really had it. I mean, I guess we killed the Relic, but you know, as great mana that they had in play, like they didn't have a counter, didn't have a great threat to play. Maybe they're playing around Consuming Vapors. that they know we have. So there's a cut. We could Consuming Vapors ourselves, sack the Sundering Titan. We do lose Savannah in a swamp, so it's not incredible, but we kill all of our opponent's lands, which is pretty insane. So I like that play. Just got 4 mana up, and I'll float a white. So seems pretty good. And then our Consuming Vapors is going to come back next turn. It'll take care of the Seeker. The opponent might as well have attacked there. So we don't have the double black for Shield Red or Coup. We'll just pass. We could draw a land that could cast one of them, or we can just solemn for it. Do have to miss out on our Thragtusk though. I'm going to go for the Swamp. What? We still have Thragtusk on top. That was random. Okay, untap Fountain, Blade Splicer. So we can cut. Can't quite win this turn, so I think we'll just probably just ignore that. We'll go for Shield Red. Opponent will have to sack a creature. Actually, let's cut the Golem. Attack with both. Opponent takes it. I guess I could have a Wrath effect. So maybe Thragtusk is best. I mean, Wrath effect, obviously we're fine, but I feel like them having a Wrath effect next turn means we win. Or if we go for Shield Red, they have a Wrath effect. Then we play something, then they could have like another Wrath effect, or they could have Control Magic for Thragtusk. Like, I feel like there's a way for them to win if we just go for Shield Red first, even though it's a little more powerful. So we got that one. So, I mean, what's our opponent doing? Seeker and Blade Splicer, so it's sort of aggressive white creatures that can have some like synergy combo type stuff. You can bounce the Splicer and then Seeker with a lot of cheap cantrips. I mean, they still could be doing Splinter Twin. I mean, they have 3 duels for red plus a relic, so they could be double splashing the red of Twin. They could also just be splashing for like a Johnny Vengeant, Ralzera kind of stuff, and be like kind of white-blue tempo aggro. So we'll keep that in mind. Don't think we want Crux. Don't think we want Silent Dryads. Winter Orb could be a good Winter Orb matchup. It's kind of good against the cheap card draw. I don't know about Greaves, but opponent's also potentially kind of aggro. Probably not very aggro though. It's hard to say. They could kind of just be a white weenie deck to some extent and just be splashing some powerful cards. I mean, not like white weenie, but just kind of like white attacking creatures. So orb might not be good there. Is there something in the main that's not good? There's that land I feel like we could cut. Orb could be fun. Orb's weird because we do have all these expensive cards, so in a way, you know, like cutting down on your mana seems like a bad idea. But we also have a lot of combos with like Thrawn Dynamo being able to get multiple mana, Garrick, just like a Vraska Planeswalker out. But I don't know, not like the best Winter Orb deck. So let's just run this back. So we're like 16 lands. It's fine. I don't think it's necessarily too many, but I just feel like we're capable of going to 15 if there's something that we really want to play. So this hand can give us, if we get a black mana, it can give us an early Vraska as early as turn 3. But it could have some problems. Like it doesn't have, land tax. It's good against some of our ramping stuff. But I mean, with Arbor Elf, Chalice, you know, we kind of just go toe-to-toe with lands, and I don't think I want a Chalice here. I want to ramp a little higher with it. So maybe Savannah. If we go Sundering Titan, I guess we're killing Tundra anyway, so Savannah's safe. So let's go for Savannah and attack for 1. Opponent has Splicer. Forest. Lands aren't that great, and if opponent ever stops playing lands, we have to stop playing lands. But we do want a Chalice for 2 here. I guess we play Plains. Okay, opponent has Relic. So now they've got a good amount of red mana. They still have counter magic up for this turn. Cobra. Is that enough for... Yeah, it's enough for Vraska. And then I imagine Tooth and Nail's next turn. So, what do we Vraska? We either kill the Golem or we kill a Relic. I think we kill a Relic. Means we might have to chump for a turn to protect Vraska though. But keeping him off red mana seems good. And just mana in general. I mean, can we Tooth and Nail? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and if we're gonna entwine Tooth and Nail next turn, then we do need to keep these guys alive. And even the Blade Splicer, like I can take a Blade Splicer hit to Vraska and then just start pumping it. But I mean, what damage can the Relic do? Opponent's 3 cards. Could let Vraska die. Oh, do I just let Vraska die to the Golem and then just entwine Tooth and Nail next turn? Just kill a Relic now. So basically, kind of like trading Vraska for Relic, though we could just Vraska the Golem, and Vraska's sitting in play. I mean, our goal this game is to win with tooth and nail, but I mean, Vraska's pretty powerful too, so we could, you know, get an extra kill any permanent is pretty strong. We could up Vraska? I don't think so. Alright, I think we just kill the Golem. Or we could up. We could up Vraska and just take a Golem hit. The opponent has like a Banishing Light, they just get to eat the Vraska, but we tooth and nail. What an interesting spot. Alright, I'm gonna kill the Golem. Attack opponent with both of our guys, or I guess the Cobra is Summoning Sickness, so we'll attack with Arbor Elf. Then we can let Vraska go to 1. So opponent gets to cast one, like, big card. So, like, Frost Titan, Consecrated Sphinx stuff could be rough. Let's see if it's really bad. Sphinx is rev for 4. I can handle that. Just no days, please. We still don't have any black mana. Just the Cobra. So I think opponent gets to land tax here. Six, 8, 9. So we get 2 cards in hand, and then we can drop 2. So if we want to drop Shield Dread, we can. Though I don't think we do. I do think we want to go for Titan, and then either Battlesphere or Rexage. Rexage, we could kill the land tax, and then, you know, maybe later go for the Relic. The Battlesphere gets a good amount of damage into play, gets Battlesphere into play where we can get it back with Shield Dread maybe. But I kind of like Rexage. Just keep our opponent off mana. But we can just drop Shield Dread and Titan. But I think, I mean, we can't cast Shield Dread now, so it would be kind of nice just to drop it. But if we go for Sage immediately, then we get to keep our opponent off some mana. I mean, land tax maybe isn't that great since they just Sphinx Rev, so, you know, they'll have lands. Like if we kill the Relic, it might be a little better. But this is our one chance to take out the tax before they get 3 lands. I mean, we're definitely gonna put Centering Titan down. So Shield Dread forces opponent to sack the Splicer. Means we've got pretty much a 2-turn clock. I don't think we have nothing in graveyard. Let's see, can opponent Wrath? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to kill one thing if we go for the Sage. So they might be able to Wrath. Wrath would be pretty bad for us. So I think we want to go for Sage. And you will just have Shield Red for another, like when we actually get black mana. And then Sage, we still got to decide, are we killing the Tax or the Relic? I kind of think we just do the Relic. Like, opponent just drew a bunch of cards. If they tax, they might have to discard. They go up to 9, 10. They have to play 3 spells, not discard, and they're not going to have that many lands. So let's just kill Relic. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. And then attack for 2 with Cobra. So opponent will eventually recover from the Titan because of their land tax, but you know, we just want to beat them quickly at this point. So the Titan is more of a tempo play than card advantage at this point. Where if we wanted to make it like a card advantage play, we would kill the land tax. So they search for 3 lands. Just played the islands, so maybe they're considering removing the Titan and want to keep their planes safe. It also forces me to kill the planes. If they just bounce the Titan, that would work as well. Okay, opponent discards 2. We got Green Sun Zenith. I can get Thragtusk, Oracle. Let's see, where's my... Okay, deck. So we can get Oracle, Thragtusk. Those are the 2 options. Oracle gives us some card advantage, gets us closer to casting Shield Red. Thragtusk, decent Wrath protection. I think I like Thragtusk, and I think I want to just save the land. Opponent might have... I guess we pass a miscalc. Yeah, land's probably worth playing. I mean, it is a black mana for Shield Red. But I think we can play around Mana Leak here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can actually play around Mana Leak and miscalc. Opponent just drew a bunch of cards, so I think that's worth it. And then we get to attack with the Arbor Elf. Also, one sec. 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, with the Lotus Cobra, we probably we basically need to draw a swamp, at which case we'll have double black for the Shield Red. So it's unlikely that having an extra land to play for the Cobra is actually going to end up with us getting the double black, if that makes sense. I guess we're not attacking with everything. We probably want to hold on to Cobra then. So just these. Though maybe opponent needs to block the Titans, so this is 2, 3, 5, 15. Then they could block. I'm just going to send the Cobra. I mean, trading the Cobra for 7 damage is massive. And that's actually what we're doing. So, alright. Maybe the final turn of the game. Opponents just think twices. They get 1 white mana or 1 red mana. So can't cast much in the way of wrath effects. Can't really think what they could do. I think we've got it. We got Vraska to kill something that they play. I guess they could stall us for a turn somehow. Okay, so we can put them to 2 if they return the Titan. We can use Vraska to kill Venser. Deluge, pretty useless. Should be pretty hard to lose if we just Vraska the Venser and attack. Opponent's going to need to deal with the Thragtusk and the Reclamation Sage. That's really hard. So I think that's what we do. We do lose the Vraska, but I feel like our opponent can't really come back if we make this play. I guess if they make like a token creature or something. Yeah, control magic doesn't do it. Alright, that's the draft. Got some Rise packs that are worth like 1.5 tickets each. Season 5 QP, some Phantom points. It's pretty sweet. So not bad for the first draft video. So yeah, I mean, I like drafting green ramp decks a lot. Yeah, they're pretty powerful. Also like drafting rock decks, and a lot of times you end up combining the two. So quick rating check, and that'll be it. 1904, looking good. So thanks for watching. Yeah, if you have any feedback, put comments in the comment section. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making more videos for MTGO Academy. Thanks for watching.